Thank you. Call this April 5th, 2022 meeting of the Greenwood Park Board to order. First item on the agenda is the approval of the March 2022 minutes from this meeting. Members should have received one in their email packets. See if I have any additions or corrections. Hearing none, take a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Burton, seconded by Mr. Dietrich. All those in favor, Mr. Prost.
Aye.
Mr. Burton.
Aye.
Mr. Dietrich.
Aye.
And I'm also, motion carries. Attorney reports, Kelsey.
First item for consideration this evening is a use agreement with David Mandelbaum for a pickleball tournament. You had previously approved this event, I believe, last year, but Mr. Mandelbaum is asking for different dates and to extend that. So it was 2 days, now it's 3. So the dates he's requesting are July 29th, July 30th, and July 31st. He'd like to use Craig Park, the pickleball courts, from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. on those dates.
So it's actually 3 additional days, correct? So that's
One
5
additional-
days.
There's one additional day on top of what you guys have already approved as far as block time, different dates.
Different days.
We have talked to Mr. Mandelbaum about his request. It's a good event, it's a good cause, good beneficiary. We think we have pickleball players that would be utilized in the court. We feel that they would engage and enroll in the tournament.
I think staff doesn't have any problem with this at all. Okay, any other questions or comments from the board? Okay, hearing none, need a motion to approve the use agreement with David Mandelbaum for use of pickleball courts at Craig Park.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Prost, seconded by Mr. Burton. All those in favor, Mr. Prost.
Aye.
Mr. Burton.
Aye.
Mr. Dietrich.
Aye.
I'm an aye also. Motion carries.
Next item for consideration is a contract for services with Slide Experts for slide restoration services totaling $14,470.
This is for just give it that time with that facility, maintenance is going to be required, slides, other things, as far as the aquatics are concerned. They was coming in for the red slide. It's a very UV sensitive color. It was faded. I mean, they painted it.
So I noticed that they're guaranteeing no delaminations because in the quote, they're going to scrape the exterior for loose paint that's on there.
Correct. Yep.
Don't they have a paint that expands and contracts with fiberglass that stays?
They've done this before.
Yeah. I just thought technology had caught up.
I think we'd asked before, these guys are out of Colorado, right? So they're like
These guys are out of Colorado.
they're like the go-to company. I think.
So we originally went with one other company that we had lined up, Safe Salt Slide Restoration. And they were giving us a runaround. In fact, we were trying to increase our fees. After they already signed a contract, we then went in and decided to disengage with them and then go in with this company.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, I need a motion to approve the contract for services from Slide Experts.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mr. Dietrich, second by Mr. Prost. All those in favor, Mr. Dietrich.
Aye.
Mr. Burke.
Aye.
Mr. Prost.
Aye.
I'm an aye also. Motion carries.
Next item is an amendment to the service agreement with True Green. I believe we approved the agreement last meeting, and this is an additional area for $440.10.
We left out city building.
Yeah, see it.
Inadvertent.
Probably shouldn't do that again. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, need a motion to approve the amendment of service agreement with True Green.
So moved.
All right. Been moved by Mr. Dietrich, second by Mr. Prost. All those in favor, Mr. Prost.
Aye.
Mr. Dietrich,
Aye.
Mr. Burton.
Aye.
I'm an aye also. Motion carries.
Next item for consideration is the purchase agreement for ZTR mower totaling $11,999.
Part of that's due to some trade-ins as well. We've got a trade-in allowance for a Toro Groundmaster. And then also, I think it was our first ZTR we had ever purchased, Ferris. And then the big Toro out front mower as well, so price $11,999. So that's a 72 inch.
So this Ferris is 72. Is that your last Toro Groundsmaster? Out with the old.
What's the lifespan of a gas mower?
To be determined, and I'm not trying to be facetious, we're still kind of new into this, I feel like, we just turned over from when Ferris had their EPA regulations, we were just talking about that earlier, we just now recently started getting into the game of the gas powered. So far, so good, we haven't had any motor problems with it, you have to wear and tear on the moving parts. The engine's been good.
Kind of depends on how much money you will put it in repairs too, doesn't it?
Correct.
Yeah. You can keep rebuilding them from now to
Yeah.
Columbus Day.
And I'm not trying to go on about it, but that Ferris they're trading in, the diesel, that has how many miles on it, per hour?
3,200 hours. It's an 05.
And the motor is still fine, it's just everything else that's starting to break down.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, I need a motion to approve the purchase agreement for ZTR mower from Dan Miller, True Value Hardware.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Burton, seconded by Mr. Prost. All those in favor, Mr. Prost.
Aye.
Mr. Burton.
Aye.
Mr. Dietrich.
Aye.
And I'm an aye also. Motion carries.
Next item for consideration is a purchase agreement with Lee Company. That's for the padding at the field house for $16,310.
Sent the email of the images of the drain pipes and then some of the columns that are constructed in walkways or potential conflict areas. We have gone multiple quotes on this and done multiple research on this, and that is the best price, best company that we can find to do this work.
Are they just gonna be painted from 6 feet up?
They're painted now.
They are painted. I didn't think
Ground
the-
board,
The
yeah.
photos look like they were still primed.
Grizzle gray.
Questions or comments?
I will say that on some of the drain pipes, I think some of you guys have expressed some concerns on that, on how they get into clean outs. I do believe will be a void in the covers as well.
Well, they could just be Velcro.
And then the covers are hoop and loop. They're Velcro.
Hook and
so they
loop.
could be able to-
Else? Okay. Hearing nothing else, I need a motion for the ratification of the purchase agreement with Lee Company for the wall patty at the field house.
So moved.
Approved by Mr. Dietrich, seconded by Mr. Burton. All those in favor, Mr. Dietrich.
Aye.
Mr. Burton.
Aye.
Mr. Probst.
Aye.
I'm an aye also. Motion carries.
Next item for consideration is a use agreement. It's the In the Joy of Others walk/run. It's a walkathon that they'd like to host at Freedom Park on June 26, 2022, from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. in the evening. With Bath's Charities.
Yeah, we don't have any concerns with this event. Great parts of great place to have this.
This is first year for this.
I think it's the first year for this organization. It's not the first year for, I think. The Susan G.
I just don't
Conference.
remember
I think we've had
hearing
Susan G. Conference before.
In the joy of others before, so, okay. We'll be fine. Questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, need a motion to approve the use agreement for the In the Joy of Others walk/run at Freedom Park.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Burton, second by Mr. Dietrich. All those in favor, Mr. Dietrich,
Aye.
Mr. Burton,
Aye.
Mr. Probst.
Aye.
I'm an aye also, motion carries.
Next item for consideration is the change to the user fees for early bird pickleball.
Currently have a day pass user fee of $2. We're proposing to increase that to $3 preparation of the field house and lines.
Question or comments?
No, you need to make up that 16,000.
I mean, that's-
Maybe $10 for a bird fee. Just saying.
Okay, nothing else. So I need a motion for the consideration of user fees for the Early Bird pickleball.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Burton, second by Mr. Dietrich. All those in favor, Mr. Probst,
Aye.
Mr. Burton,
Aye.
Mr. Dietrich.
Aye.
I'm an aye also, motion carries.
Next item for consideration is the out-of-home advertising agreement with the Franciscan Alliance to be a umbrella partner for the 2022 and 2023 Freedom Spring season, which would be $12,000 that they would be donating to the city. And it's the same terms as their previous, same perks, I guess, as their previous agreement.
More or less a renewal. They're already a partner. The impressions are already in place on the umbrella. So we'll just be continuing that for the next 2 years.
Oh, that they're a good customer.
How long we get out of those logos before they start fading?
That is, we are on year 4, maybe more on that umbrella. We haven't had a replacement yet.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, I need a motion to approve the advertising agreement with the Franciscan Alliance for the umbrellas at Freedom Springs.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Probst, second by Mr. Burton. All those in favor, Mr. Dietrich,
Aye.
Mr. Burton,
Aye.
Mr. Probst.
Aye.
I am an aye also, motion carries.
Next item for your consideration is the use agreement with the Indiana Tornadoes Developmental Football League. They'd like to use Freedom Park on the following dates for their home games. It'd be May 14th, June 4th, June 18th, June 25th, and July 16th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. on those dates.
I believe Amy is,
Yes.
she's on Zoom. So if you guys have any questions for her with regards to that, looks like it'd be on the multi-sport fields at Freedom Park.
Yes,
Do you play in the rain?
we do. We do.
If you want to cancel times, you go and just go play.
Yeah.
Cancel your times, you just go and play. If it rains.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's actually a really good point. I'm glad you brought that up, Mr. Pope, since we do have a thing in place. And if the ground conditions are unsuitable for active play on our grounds that are going to cause damage, we do have the right for cancellations on that. So
That's perfectly fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Is that something staff makes?
I lean on the grounds crew to be able to tell me that.
Yeah.
They don't feel the ground is favorable for activity.
Okay.
And that provision is in the use agreement as well.
Okay. Now, this is a semi-pro football team, right?
Yeah, developmental semi-pro. Yeah.
Developmental, thank you. That was a little more.
No, it's same thing. It's kind of the same thing.
We've never done this before, right? Well,
That's
with this group,
That's correct.
I know we've had. I remember conversations in the past with other groups. but-
Okay, we've had football leagues. We've had a whole bunch of different array of teams from ball leagues and baseball and then football and soccer out there. But this is the first for gridiron or football.
Hmm. Yeah, we hold, we have our own insurance. We have, I also hold a position with the league as well. So I definitely hold my guys and the other teams to a higher standard than normal. And we do provide our own security. We provide a lot of different things that to make sure that everything runs smoothly.
How did you pick Greenwood or why?
Because I'm from Greenwood. I mean, you know, I don't know if you guys know my mom, Becky Higdon Myers, but she, like, I live in Greenwood and it's just easier for me, honestly, running the team and everything. And we did at Greenwood High School a couple years ago, and then we played in Beech Grove last year, and Beech Grove's actually going through renovations and things. So they let us know kind of last minute that they weren't able to host us. So we're just kind of looking for a new home kind of to play these games at. So that's kind of why I just kind of thought of it. And I've been there a couple of times for a flag tournament, flag football tournament. So it's just a nice little area, nice quiet area, and we're able to do all that.
And how many games will you be playing?
Right now we have 5 home games. It may turn into 6 depending on if we go to the playoffs, which I'm hoping that we will. But yeah, there's only 5 games on the schedule as of right now.
These are all scheduled for the Saturdays, correct?
Yes, they're all Saturday, like early evening games.
You don't anticipate any problems with parking out there?
The only concern I would have is conflict with Freedom Springs. They run into that. Hopefully, Freedom Springs some peak time there. We've done things grown with before in the past.
Well,
Fine.
might be good exposure for them. You
Yeah.
know?
And I'm seeing 100 to 125 anticipated.
Yeah.
Yes.
If that, I don't foresee that being, I mean, that's kind of a higher estimate, but considering, you know, there's no bleachers and stuff out there, they'll have to bring their own chairs, and we were going to provide probably chairs for people as well. So that was kind of a higher estimated number. There's about 40 guys per team, maybe on the higher end. And with staff and everything and some family members, it's about 100, 125, if that.
Would you require the fields to be prepped at all as far as lining?
Yeah, Heather, I spoke to her and she said that it was 75 for the maintenance of and lining of the field, which I'm perfectly capable, I'm perfectly fine with paying as well.
Okay, well. Any other questions or comments?
Are the participants, would they be drinking or anything?
Absolutely not. No.
Well, football players, you know.
Yeah, like I said, I hold them to a really high standard, and definitely with being at Greenwood and Beech Grove, with Beech Grove Police Department right there, you know, I threaten them, but I threaten them that if I see any of it or anything, they're done.
Okay.
They get removed from the team and the league and everything else. And especially with me being a league official as well, that's why I bring security. So if there is possibly any even sign of anything, they're automatically removed. I haven't had any issues the last 3 years on this team with that. So, I mean, I know they're all grown adults. I know things like that happen sometimes, but I have not had any issues whatsoever with that the last 3 years.
Thank you.
What's the name of the league?
The blue collar, I always want to say blue collar comedy, but it's blue collar football league. It's based out of Cincinnati. So the teams that will be playing, there's one from Columbus, Ohio, one from Louisville, Kentucky, and then 2 from Cincinnati. And the league president and the league commissioner are both the Cincinnati team. Those are their teams. So all the teams pretty much have one of the league officials on their teams as well. So we definitely, the league is a pretty highly respected league.
Any other questions or comments? Okay. Hearing none. Need a motion to approve the use agreement with the Indiana Tornadoes.
So moved.
Second. Been moved by Mr. Dietrich, seconded by Mr. Prost. All those in favor? Mr. Prost.
Aye.
Mr. Burton.
Aye.
Mr. Dietrich.
Aye.
And I am an aye also. Motion carries. We wish you nothing but luck.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, try to make it out and see a few games. I need
Definitely,
your- I need
you're
your
more than
grandfather.
welcome.
I worked with your grandfather for a few years, so happy to have you here.
Oh, really?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The next item I have for you is consideration of a service agreement with Autos Parking Marking. That's for seal coating services at both Woodman Park and at the community center, totaling $13,952.
I was gonna go out there today to look at those parks, and I totally forgot about those parking lots. They gotta be pretty bad.
Sure do.
Yeah, oh yeah, Woodman's gotta be.
Yeah.
That's probably the original. I don't know if it's ever been done out there.
I think we've done it.
Have you?
We've done it. Community center gets a lot of use, so it's probably
Sure.
on one day every 3 years, one every 2 years.
So I'm reading through this, if they say they start striping and coating and then weather moves in and they leave, they come back, they charge a $300 additional for a trip charge.
From, Main Street. Has that ever been an issue in the past, Rob?
Trip charges.
They'll, autos, they're good on your schedule as well, and we're good with us, I'm trying to come in on weekends, take care of when we're slow. They don't get in that predicament with the weather.
Yeah, they did my lot last time.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Hearing none, I need a motion for the service agreement with Autos Parking Marking.
So moved.
Second. Been moved by Mr. Burton, second by Mr. Prost. All those in favor, Mr. Dietrich.
Aye.
Mr. Burton.
Aye.
Mr. Prost.
Aye.
I'm an aye also, motion carries. Is that all, Kristen?
That's it,
Thank you very much.
of course.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the Greenwood Parks Foundation report.
The foundation is beginning to implement the impression of the field house as far as the partnership goes. We're also looking into some soft opening ideas for the field house as well. So once they get those generated, we'll keep everyone posted. Other than that, foundation is doing good and still looking and promoting initiatives for 2022 and looking forward to summer.
Yeah, are they, when do you anticipate them sending out memberships or?
I got one.
I never received one, Rob. That's something I believe in, so.
Yeah, we talked about it before. I think at the time, when I looked, that we hadn't received anything. And a couple of later, I got something.
I still haven't.
Chase it down.
Anything else on the Parks Foundation? Control report. Greg's here, yeah, Greg's here.
Afternoon. The financials went out this afternoon to everybody. The main operating fund, Fund 204, right now we're showing a deficit, but that's because our main receipts there are the property tax dollars and then Freedom Springs dollars. So once we get the property tax draw in June, and then we'll start seeing some of those revenues come in. The next one's the food and beverage tax fund. You can see that one's over the course of the year so far, but 602,958 in the bank. It's running pretty strong there. The next one is the SNR fund. This is the one that is basically generated from the programming and goes to fund the programming. So a lot of those, as people are reserving things, we're bringing those revenues in. Those will start to get used up through the year as we start having some of those programs. But right now it's 180,908 in the black. Finally, the park impact fee fund. You see a nice big receipt there for a period to date of $476,595. That will be the receipt from the 523 South Madison project. So as I've mentioned in the past in these meetings, we were expecting some big receipts to start hitting. That's the first of many large projects around the city that we'll start seeing come in. So that's a boon to that fund. And I know Rob's got a lot of plans for it.
So Sherry.
Get in line. Mine starts right there.
If there's any questions, happy to answer.
It's good. Thank you, Greg. Yep. Clerk's report.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you guys?
Good.
So things are getting ready to ramp up for Freedom Springs. This week was my first week back out there, so we're working on getting things cleaned up and start looking at de-winterizing the pools, start getting them filled and getting them ready for summer. My goal is always try to get those pools filled by the end of April, so that way we can use the whole month of May to get them warmed up, as our heater is the sun. So we try our hardest to kind of get that up and running, and hiring, as far as recruitment goes, is going extremely well. Like I'm at the point now that I'm gonna have to start turning people away, which is, in my opinion, a good problem to have maybe. But so we're kind of working on that and working on getting those processed and getting them all hired on, trained, and all that stuff. And we have lifeguard certifications coming up this weekend, actually, and the next weekend, or 2 weekends, I think, from now. We have all that kind of planned, ready to go to get everyone certified, and then we'll start focusing on getting concession admission certified CPR. So we can kind of work that out. And then in May, we'll kind of bring everybody back out there for what's called pre-service training, which is our way to kind of go over emergency action plans and things of that nature, so we can get our staff ready for opening day.
You don't foresee any problems filling staff.
Yeah.
That's
No.
that's good. That's good. That's great.
Yeah.
Great news. Let's switch trucks up. Thank you.
Yep.
Next time, Parks report.
I believe you got my report in front of you. If you got any questions, you want to have an answer for it.
So the pergola came down at University, huh?
Yes.
Again, I meant to go out there and look at that. Any plans on replacing that, or it's gotta look different with that not being there?
It opens it up quite a bit, Tim. If you
Sure.
coming off of Main Street, you can see the 3 flagpoles real clear. Almost, you can see the part of the woods before the park there, so it does open it up.
What's the status on our brush cutter?
So a couple weeks away, according to the last thing I got. 1st of April, they told me it's probably 4 weeks off.
Well, everything you've removed out of Craig Park on the south side is great. Really appreciate you guys opening that up. It really makes that whole.
They went to work on the South Drive Freedom just last week. They did by the driveway, and then they got up to the service gate of the dog park out there. And that's about where the fence stopped, and we ran out of fence, about 300 feet of fence. And we've got other little projects like that to be done.
Anything else? Thank you, Jim. Trails.
One thing to report on that is the formerly the IPL trail, now we're on the AES trail. The appraisers have started doing appraisals and making assessments on those required lots for that project.
Forward to the day that's done. Recreation report.
You have a copy of our report, some upcoming items that we have. We have fencing that starts on Friday at the community center. We have 10 registered for that program, looking forward to it. And on Saturday, we have a breakfast with the bundle event. And both 8:30 and 10 o'clock settings are sold out. So getting ready for summer, and we look forward to introducing our new events and tournament coordinator to you guys next month.
I don't see anything in your report about the games in your driveway.
Oh, that's nonstop.
Is your bunny pulling double duty or do you have two bunnies?
Now, it goes up.
Does he?
Yeah.
Extra couple extra carrots.
Yeah.
Anything else for Nick? Thanks, sir. Field house.
Hello, you should have a copy of the field house report. Today was our 4th day inside the field house. My staff's been doing a great job with organizing, cleaning, and also we moved everything from DPW over, so all of our loose equipment is now over at the field house. A few items that we haven't talked about since last meeting. So all the furniture, I don't know if you guys have been over there yet, but the facility furniture is all in. We're missing a couple items, but everything there except for those items. Epoxy flooring on the south stairs have been done. Looks really nice. And also the rubber flooring on the gym stairs, going from the gym to the walking track, is also completed. They look nice as well. Hiring has been very successful for us. I believe we were fully staffed. We're looking for one cleaner right now. But other than that,
So what's your total number of staff?
I think we're sitting around 20, I think 22, all said and done, pretty good. I think we're 21 right now, and then.
Part-time and full-time?
Oh, I think it's up with
Just
John.
a couple
and I.
more, yeah. Okay. Well, it's exciting. You guys are in there.
Yep, we have 4 new employees starting next week.
Great. Anything else on field house?
You guys are wanted a tour of the facility, let one of us know, myself or Ricky.
I guess we have the bodies right now to take you guys on board. So.
Okay.
Yeah, to show it.
Okay, Ricky, thank you.
Thank you.
Community center report, Sharon.
You guys have my report. If you have any questions, just let me know. And we're gonna miss the field house staff.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Are you really though?
Are you really though? On the weekends, we will.
Probably some of them.
Some of them we will.
It's nice for everybody to go amicably, right?
Yeah,
It is.
it was time.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
It's been hard at the rec department moved over there on Friday as well. so-
Oh, yeah, I didn't think, I
Yeah, so
forgot about that.
I
Rec
don't
over
see
there.
people all the time anymore, but.
Wow, that's gotta be different upstairs.
It is.
It is.
Huh. A lot quieter. Okay, awesome.
Your card swipes are way up.
Yes, I noticed that too.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's way up.
Card swipes are way up, yeah.
Spring break.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys apparently made it through spring break.
Yeah.
There's some crazy days in that building.
Yeah, yeah, because the weather wasn't real cooperative for being outside, so.
So on that note, Tim, Jen and I did discuss briefly about spring break next year. We're gonna look into it a little bit more. We're probably gonna do an extended period of hours around that spring break time, make sure we hit all the school corporations as well. Because we noticed that towards a lot of closing time, Kid City was just packed. We're looking at extending those hours just for the spring break.
That's what we're there for.
Yeah.
So, good recognition. Okay, thanks, Sharon. Other business from the public? Any business from the board? Copies of the claim sheet were distributed before the meeting. Anybody have any additions, corrections, questions? Hearing none, there's no other business coming before this board. This meeting is adjourned.